tradition of service by serving all Virginia families.
Span Burger for Governor. Service, country, Commonwealth.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt. Rocks?
To keep Virginia safe is our next. To keep Virginia safe is our next Attorney General. Jay Jones has
Welcome to the live,
he's been
Jeffrey.
an assistant attorney general and a state lawmaker.
Jay Jones increased funding for police and cracked down on sex offenders.
As Attorney General, Jay Jones
Welcome to the night,
and drug traffickers where they belong.
Sunday night live
Running for attorney
no
general
bumper
to keep
saga.
Virginia safe.
I'm Kimberly Pope Adams, someone who understands what's at stake right now. Lowering the cost of health care and energy bills, bringing back opportunity, fully funding our schools, and standing up for local farmers. I'm Kimberly Pope Adams, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad because we've been left behind for too long.
Yes, it is.
Celebrate the season
Yes,
with one of the
second.
Classic November 7th through the 9th, Richmond Raceway Complex. It's finally time to catch the spirit with aisles full of fabulous gifts, decorations, unique creations, and
Thank you for
seasonal
coming
treats
on
for
here.
you. Save big at ChristmasClassic.com.
Ready to fest with Delaney Hall. Stream now on WRIC Plus.
Sports, but a not so great day for the Washington Commanders, who hosted the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football. They were banged up with injuries coming in, but even with Jake Daniels back, things did not go the Commanders' way. The Seahawks scored 4 unanswered touchdowns before Jake Daniels was able to get the Commanders on the board with a 1-yard rush. Couldn't do anything with it, though, or do much of anything in general tonight, and they fall 38-14. Now, the Carolina Panthers were on the road this weekend against the Packers. Green Bay came into this game with one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL, but today it was all about the defense. Jumping to the second quarter, the Panthers are inside the 5. Bryce Young tosses to running back Rico Dowdle, and it's a touchdown. Dowdle really taking a leap this season to be the key back for this Panthers offense. It's 7-3, and the Panthers take the lead. Third quarter now, the Packers quarterback Jordan Love drops back to pass here, and he lets one fly, but it's intercepted by Trayvon Mullen. Once he's up, they can't.
Probably BD summer when Daddy comes
On
home
the next
on it.
Panthers possession, Dowdle scores his second TD of the
Huh?
day, and it's third turn, and it's a touchdown. Packers tie it up at 13. 1 second left in regulation. Panthers kicker Ryan Fitzgerald's 49-yard field goal attempt is good. Panthers win in walk-off fashion. The final at Lambeau Field, 16-13 Panthers.
And this is a really good team. And we understood all those things and what it was going to take for us to have a chance to win this game was doing right longer. And that's our mentality. And that's also the things that we have to capture. Can we capture this style of football? You know, it didn't show up for us last week. It showed up for us today, you know, to get back to our basics and execute. And, you know, these are the things that you need to know what to expect when we get into close games like this.
For us, you know, we can only take it week by week. In this week, you know, it's right now it's been 24 hours. It's great. You know, we're enjoying it. But after that, you know, we have to come back and turn our focus on the next week.
Who can vote against Bryce Young? He's such a good guy. Now moving the chain back Thursday night for a look at the Ravens-Dolphins game. Lamar Jackson came into this game focused, and you saw it early on. First quarter, Dolphins are in the shadow of their own end zone. Tua Tagovailoa hits Taj Washington, but he fumbles it, and it's picked up by Alohi Gilman. Ravens take advantage of the turnover. Jackson rolls right here in just a second and hits Mark Andrews, his trusty tight end, over the middle for the easy score. Ravens up 7-3. Now it's the second quarter. More from the Ravens. Lamar's back to pass again. Has Mark Andrews wide open, and this goes 20 yards all the way to the end zone. Baltimore gets his juice back, taking home a Thursday night win.
Anytime, Jeffrey. Thank you for the 2 likes.
And they were absolute must-wins, both of those 2 games. And for our guys to step up the way they did, and to step out the way they did, it was awesome. Like you said, you know, I just want to get out there with my guys to taste the game. You know, but fortunately I couldn't. But it's just great to be back, man. Like I said, good dog.
The stadium lights to Saturday night. It was a tale of 2 halves down at Lane Stadium as the Virginia Tech Hokies were coming in hot off a big win over Cal, hoping to keep that momentum as they hosted the number 16 ranked Louisville Cardinals. In the first half, they did just that, but the second was a different story. The Cardinals did get on the board first with an explosive 52-yard rushing touchdown by Isaac Brown, but they didn't let it get them down. The Hokies defense then attacks on a safety to take the lead, and then the offense comes back out to extend it as Drone slings one out to Cameron Selden to make it 16 to turn it over on downs twice. This one ending 28 to 16.
Wasn't a lack of effort, wasn't a lack of attitude, it wasn't a lack of buy-in. It was, that's just the way this game works sometimes. And so I thought our guys fought and battled their tails off to the end, and I couldn't be more proud of the way they're doing that. We've got a bye week coming up. That'll give us a chance to get a little healthier, give us a chance to kind of get back to some fundamental things, and then get ready for a 3-game push up here at the end.
They had us in the first half, but this week 15th ranked UVA stayed on the road. This time the trip was a long one as they went west to Berkeley to play the Cal Golden Bears. This is the first ever meeting between Virginia and California. The holes, and he finds the end zone. Taylor puts the who's on the board first. It's the second quarter now. Virginia puts together another great drive. Morris takes the snap and hands it off to Taylor. Taylor again finding the end zone for the second time. Extra point is good and moves lead by 10. Scores now 17-14 Virginia, but Morris finds Eli Wood, and Wood just sneaks past the pylon. Wood having a day for the Cows. He adds a little pad, and it's 24-14 News. Despite the late push by Cal, Virginia wins it and remains undefeated in the ACC, 31-21 News.
I said, look, we're coming in with an expectation of, man, we want to put the game away and not let it be close, but we're also humble enough to know that, hey, it could be a one-score game. So we got to be prepared to do anything and everything the moment demands to find a way to win. Now, we're in November, right? This is really the championship phase of the season, and every play is going to be critical in every aspect of the game.
And you know what they say, November is for contenders. Today, we know Virginia has moved from number 15 to number 12 in the AP rankings, and there was some pretty big movement with their ACC competition in the poll as well. Both Georgia Tech and Miami's losses pushed them down to the number 16 and number 18 spots, making Virginia the highest-ranked team in the ACC. And earlier this week, the Dukes of James Madison put their 5-game winning streak on the line for their first-ever Tuesday night game. JMU was on the road against Texas State, and they took care of business. It was a 52-20 win for the Dukes. Bob Chesney's squad remaining on pace for a Sun Belt.
Understand what it is. They just had momentum and were playing at such great tempo that we were playing catch up a little bit. And I thought, we were able to just slow it. It felt a lot slower when you go make a couple adjustments in halftime and you come out and just play a different brand of football because you're used to speed now. You have a general idea of what they're doing. I think it does take a minute to settle down.
Back here in Richmond, the Spiders found themselves back at home following their bye week as the Fordham Rams came to town. A-10 rivals on the basketball court, but Patriot League foes on the gridiron, and it brought us a heavyweight bout in helmets, but it was Varina's Aziz Foster Powell that was moving like a featherweight. Check out the moves on this one to pick up some yardage. Richmond leading 10-7 when they get the offense moving. Kyle Wickersham back to pass, and he fires for Isaiah Dawson, who brings it inside the 5, and then it's Wickersham that finishes off the drive himself. He takes the snap here, and somehow, I don't know how, breaks to the pile, and he's in for the score, and a 17-10 lead after a couple of nice moves from the big QB. Fordham, though, would cut the lead to 3, getting this one across the goal line with this Jack Kaiser 4-yard run, and the Rams would get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. But the Spiders were saved by their defense. Lee Bruner flies in for the pick, his second of the game, as the Spiders win it 17-14. And despite the win, head coach Russ Huseman says there's still work to be done.
Whether it's penalties, whether it's missing people, we got to be better. And we've worked on red zone in the open week, and we have to figure out better ways. We can't continue like this.
I think we're a better offense than what the score at the end of the game says. I felt like we were very much in control in the first half, and then in the second half, obviously we're trying to run some clock because our defense is doing so well out there. But if we start finishing these drives in the red zone, we're not going to have to be in these stressful games anymore, and we can finally relax.
Looking at some other scores from the region, BUU wins their 17th. Meanwhile, looking at our Division III scoreboard, Randolph-Macon keeps on rolling with a 31-14 win over Shenandoah, while Hampton taking this the Bison 61-8 on the road in D.C. Now let's go to some homegrown highlights, a little high school football. Huge matchup happening on Saturday, but none as big as the one at Trinity. This matchup easily one of the biggest in the region as the undefeated and third-ranked Cadets were on the road at one-loss Trinity, and the Titans were thinking upset already, up 14-0 when they added their lead quick pass to Davion Brown. And look out, this kid has SEC offers for a reason. He's down the far sideline, and you're not going to catch him. He's in for the score, but Benedictine not giving up. Carson Lambert here calling his own number and finding the end zone. The Cadets had a chance to win this game on the goal line, but Trinity makes the stand and claims the top spot in the VISAA playoffs with a 26-21 win. As for St. Chris, they shut out the Collegiate to claim the 3 seed in the VISAA playoffs, while Thomasdale takes down Petersburg on the road 34-6. And that brings us to our 8 Sports Let's Play of the week. And tonight we have 3 great candidates to choose from. Here's 8 Sports Director Nolan Knight.
Hello and welcome into this week's 8 Sports Blitz Play of the Week. Our tradition here on 8 Sports, where we bring you the best 3 plays from this week's high school football slate, and your viewers are which play you think deserves to win the title of Play of the Week. We have some great nominees as always, and for play number 1, we'll have to go to our team of the week. Right at quarterback, Caleb Weiss that finds the edge, breaks the tackle, and takes it to the house in a Battle of the East End win over Highland Springs on Thursday night. For play number 2, it's Patrick Henry receiver Tucker Rowland that climbs the ladder to come down with this touchdown catch on the way to a win over the Henrico Warriors. And finally, we'll head to Louisa County to show some love to Zaire Carter, who sidesteps the defender and hits the Jets. Talk about speed. It's a big win for the Lions over Western Albemarle. And be sure to head to our website, WRC.com, to vote for which play you think is most deserving. Reporting in studio for 8 Sports, I'm Nolan Knight.
Still to come on 8 Sports Overtime, we're trading the turf for the hardwood. We've got everything you need to know about college basketball tip-off next.
I'm so sorry.
Plus, we're taking the inside line to the Phoenix Raceway.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please.
All the fuel for thought you need next.
The Dog Stop is the only local dog care spot with all this in one place.
That's why that Eric Corbin on Side Park apologizes to people. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Greed, money, power. It's all in the game for corrupt politicians like Nate Navarre, alleged co-conspirator to the largest insider trading ring in history. $8 million in dirty profits. Navarre's own lawyers admit she lied to federal investigators. Now Navarre's lied to you too, concealing radical plans for higher taxes, increasing power bills $1,700 per year. May Navarre rigs the game. You pay the bill.
I'm David Owen, candidate for delegate, and I approve this ad.
Outrageous tax bills, shoddy home repairs, things you
I don't think they all the granted them for nothing like that.
don't know how to deal with it. That's why 8 News is taking action, digging deep for answers, bringing peace of mind to victims. We don't just tell these stories to help them. We do it so you're prepared when trouble finds you. Relentless, impactful.
I was sitting there listening to that fart.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad. Winston Earl Sears. And Virginia's hurting because of top policies that Sears backs. The cost of buying a house up 18%, renting up 14%, unemployment up 7 months in a row. And Sears says, I'm supporting what the president is doing. Sears speaks for Trump, not us. Winston Earl Sears, so far right, she's wrong for Virginia.
Every Friday night, award-winning coverage from the sidelines to the studio. Your school, your favorite teams. Unforgettable shows.
Thank you for the 3 likes.
Watch live, streaming, or on your phone. Taking action to bring you all the action. 8 Sports Blitz with Nolan Knight and Madeline Frenchris. Fridays on 8 News at 11.
As a sheriff, as a prosecutor,
Jay Jones is who we trust to keep Virginia safe as our next Attorney General.
Jay Jones has the experience. He's been an assistant attorney general and a state lawmaker.
Jay Jones increased funding for police and cracked down on sex offenders.
As Attorney General, Jay Jones will put violent criminals and drug traffickers where they belong, behind bars.
I'm Jay Jones, running for Attorney General to keep Virginia safe.
The Dog Stop is the only local dog care spot with all this in one place. Not convinced? Then get your first day of doggy daycare on us. The Dog Stop, where tails go to wag.
All right, we are officially 12 hours away from the start of college basketball season. Welcome back to 8 Sports Overtime. I'm Madeline Frentress. The VC Rams have now held their black and gold, gone on the road to Villanova for an exhibition, and hosted an exhibition against Fairfield to prepare for the 2025 season. So far, the takeaway, this is a very talented roster, and they all have something different to bring to the table.
I truly have full confidence in all those guys. 1 through 13 right now that are healthy. I have full confidence in every single one. We need them. I know that they can help us. It is very, very difficult to play 13. It was hard to play 11 the other night. But I do know and do feel very confident that if we get to a point, injury, foul trouble, just hey, this guy just, for whatever reason, it's not working for him, let's try somebody else. Like, we have enough guys to go down that line.
The men's team hosts the season opener against the Wagner Seahawks tomorrow at 7 p.m. Now we want to take a look at the women's team, where the Rams are contending with a rule change that's upping the level of physicality. The new rule allows defenders one-hand hot stove touches on stationary players with the ball, a rule that the women's team felt in full force in their scrimmage against Duke. Here's head coach Becca Boyle.
It was helpful for some of our international players, like, of course. For our, usual players right now, it's a big change. It's a big change in the women's game. And I think for us, that was one of the things that we took away quite a bit from Duke, was that we've got to be more physical on both sides of the floor. It was a good experience for us, and I think it showed us,
All exclusively on the WRC Plus app. Just open up the app and find WRC exclusive, and you'll find the show. Or scan the QR code you see on your screen for instruction. Now we want to head to U of R, where the Spiders are gearing up for their season. After historic last season with a trip to the NCAA tournament, the team has set expectations high. Tonight we're hearing from head coach Aaron Russell and junior guard Allie Sweeney on how the team is dealing with the preseason hype.
I don't really have any concerns about that. I think they have a coach that's humbled them quite a bit over this time. I think some of this is Maggie's been through this, Rachel's been through this, Allie's been through this. We as a staff have been through this. And I think the other part of it, we just don't talk about it a lot. I think so much of our focus really is getting better every day.
Well, that was a great accomplishment and testament to what this program has been able to do, the preseason ranking, but we've kind of been, it doesn't really mean much just yet. We have to prove that that was an accurate ranking, so we're just working at doing that every day, little by little.
Still to come on 8 Sports Overtime, we're on track to get a full breakdown of the NASCAR Championship. Who had the horsepower to win it all? I'll let you know when we come back.
They pick your worst day. I'm speaking now. They twist your words. And I think that's good. They say you're not polished. Seriously? I'm Winsome Earl Seekers. I'm running for governor to educate, not indoctrinate, grow paychecks instead of hate, and keep Virginia moving the right direction. As your governor, I won't be a polished politician, but as a United States Marine, I'll always fight for Virginia.
Your home is a delicate ecosystem requiring balance to provide good air quality. Dust issues may be a sign of poorly designed ductwork leading to bad air quality and straining your equipment. Humidity or dryness could mean your home's not sealed. This wastes money and creates health issues. Inconsistent airflow could mean your equipment is not sized properly and is wasting energy. Bradley Mechanical is committed to a whole home approach, giving you superior quality and efficient performance.
You've probably seen some commercials about it.
Yeah, it'll make me look good.
Listen, politics can be ugly, but let me be real. Over the last 2 years, I've worked across the aisle to get real results for Chesterfield families. I fought to lower taxes and costs, protect women's sports, improve our foster care system, make our neighborhoods safe, and strengthen school safety by supporting a school resource officer in every school. I'm proud of the progress we've made, but there's a lot more to do. On November 4th, I'd be honored to add your vote.
I never thought I'd
Yes.
need an abortion till I did. I had a choice. But now, Jason Miyares and MAGA extremists want to ban abortions in Virginia. Miyares tried to ban it before. He'll do what Trump and MAGA want, make abortions illegal in Virginia. Miyares is too weak to stand up to Trump. He's too weak to be our Attorney General.
I'm Jay Jones, running for Attorney General. I'll stop an abortion ban in Virginia, and that's why I sponsored this ad.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
MAGA Republican Winsome Earl Sears. And what Sears says about abortion is disturbing.
We know abortion is wicked.
Sears wants a near total ban with no exceptions for rape and incest. And she talks about violence against those who disagree with her.
Murder is murder, and one day it's going to be your turn.
Talking about the murder of those who support abortion rights. Winsome Earl Sears says how right she's wrong for Virginia.
Delaney, what are you doing? I'm sending the newsletter.
Sign up now for the 8 newsletter. Top stories, breaking news. And Storm Tracker 8, Richmond's most accurate forecast.
Headlines when you want them. Customized content with just a click.
Stay informed wherever you are. Scan the code now to get the free 8 newsletter. Local news daily on your timeline.
This afternoon, storylines from 4 different drivers converge as only one of the 4 can call themselves the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion in this year's season finale. Welcome back to 8 Sports Overtime. I'm Madeline Prentice. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Chesterfield native Denny Hamlin, and Chase Briscoe battle in the final race of the season for the NASCAR Cup Series championship. 45 laps to go. Hamlin bumps Byron and he pulls ahead for the lead. 27 laps to go. The final 4 drivers go in a battle for the lead. Hamlin pulls ahead of the pack to remain in the lead. With 4 laps to go, Hamlin way out in front in first place. Byron has a flat tire and collides with the wall. The caution flag is waved and the race would head to overtime during the caution. Hamlin decides to pit. Larson stays out and Hamlin drops to 11 after leading for 208 laps. In overtime, Larson hangs on and finishes 3rd in the race and 1st of the championship 4. Larson fired up. Hamlin, though, devastated. Kyle Larson wins the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series championship, his 2nd career title.
So we got lucky with that final caution error. I was really hoping that we were going to take 2 again because I felt like I learned a lot and I restarted bombing 1 and 2 really hard and thought I could do the same thing if we got another one. So just unbelievable. What a year by this Hendrick Motorsports team. Cliff Daniels, everybody, his leadership, his complete leadership just showed that whole race and keeping us all motivated, always having a plan, all of that. So that's just the story of our season. So again, just unbelievable. I cannot believe it. It feels this is insane.
Heartbreak for Chesterfield's Denny Hamlin, but congratulations to Larson there. We had the first ever Xfinity driver booking a season yesterday, winning the season opener at Daytona, and then capping off the season with a win in Phoenix and a championship to go with. We're talking about Jesse Love. The 20-year-old Californian had to beat his best friend Connor Zilisch to claim the career-changing title. Still to come, we're looking ahead to a full week of rivalries, face-offs, and matchups you won't want to miss. Stay with us. 8 Sports Overtime is back in just a moment.
2 Kims, but only one stands with us. Kim Pope Adams supports raising taxes for more government spending. When inflation is crushing us all, Kim Pope Adams wants to defund the police. When we want more police to keep us safe, and Kim Pope Adams, still woke, thinks schools should hide gender transitions from parents, and men should compete in girls' sports. New campaign, same out of touch Kim Pope Adams.
I'm Kim Taylor, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
I'm Winsome Earl Sears, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
When Biden and Pelosi wrecked our economy, Abigail Spanberger was so weak, she voted with them 100%. When radicals wanted men in girls' locker rooms, Spanberger was so wrong, she wrote the bill. After Jay Jones talked about killing his opponent, Spanberger is so weak and woke, she voted for him. Abigail Spanberger, she's weak, she's wrong. We can't trust her.
As a teacher, it's frustrating to see Delegate Amanda Batten vote to defund our public schools 16 times and send our tax dollars to wealthy private schools. Batten votes against pre-K, against teacher pay, school lunches, special needs students,
School construction,
community colleges,
after-school programs.
and so much more.
I'm Jessica Anderson, candidate for delegate, and I sponsor this ad because we have to protect our children's future. For 50 years, 3 best words in the morning.
Good morning, America! You ready?
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. They won't let me out of here.
Good morning, America. Now it's time to celebrate America's favorite morning show.
We definitely.
Happy 50th birthday. Happy 50th birthday, GMA.
Happy 50th, GMA.
Happy 50th birthday, GMA. You look good. Monday morning, the party is on.
Good morning, America. I'm Lindsay Doherty, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
If Carrie Coyner got her way, life could be very different for Virginia women. Coyner voted against insurance coverage for abortion procedures. She voted to block abortion in Virginia. Coyner even voted to jail doctors and prosecute women for seeking life-saving care. Carrie Coyner is a MAGA Republican who could be the deciding vote to take away women's rights, freedom, and their lives. Don't let her.
Welcome back to 8 Sports Overtime. I think we've covered pretty much everything that went down this week in the world of sports. So now let's take a look at what next week has in store. For your college football slate, Virginia Tech is on a bye. The Cardiac Cavaliers host Wake Forest at 7 o'clock. The James Madison Dukes will be on the road at Marshall for a noon kick. Richmond will be in D.C. at Georgetown at 1 o'clock. And Virginia State, Virginia Union for the Wilder Equality Classic at 1 o'clock. And as for some hoops, the men's college basketball season starts tomorrow, November 3rd. VCU hosts Wagner, Virginia hosts Riser, and Virginia Tech hosts Charleston Southern. Thanks for watching 8 Sports Overtime, and have a good night.
This election, Jason Miyares is the only candidate that has Trump's complete and total endorsement. No one has done more for Trump's agenda in Virginia than Jason Miyares. Workers fired, prices soaring, healthcare slashed, and Jason Miyares cheered them on, even pushing for a Virginia abortion ban. Jason Miyares is Trump's attorney, not ours.
I'm Jay Jones, running to be Virginia's Attorney General, and that's why I sponsored this ad.
Toyota liability for all your adventures. Built to perform, born to thrill. Toyota RAV4. Find yourself discovering more. Buy yours now and save with low 4.75% APR financing. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
MAGA Republican Winsome Earl Sears. And what Sears says about abortion is disturbing.
We know abortion is wicked.
Sears wants a near total ban with no exceptions for rape and incest. It's all about violence against those who disagree with her.
Murder is murder, and one day it's going to be your turn.
Talking about the murder of those who support abortion rights. Winsome Earl Sears, so far right, she's wrong for Virginia.
We serve students who are battling addiction. Unfortunately, with the stigma, a lot of times students are judged based on their prior behavior, so they're ashamed to actually talk about it, or they don't know where to turn, and they don't want to tell anyone because they feel like they're going to be judged. They're kids. So they're still learning who they are, they're still building their persona of who they want to be. So today is a challenge. If you have certain days, it would be great. Some days it's strong, but you're still building them up to be the adult who they
Leslie Mehta wants to force packing more high-rise apartments, and classrooms over capacity. She opposes stripping the lifeline of protection for our kids. She supports higher taxes and policies that reduce the cost of living, and she backs policies that put biological life in girls' sports and women's locker rooms. Leslie Mehta.
I'm Mark Early, candidate for delegate, and my campaign sponsor is that.
News where you live with Deanna Albritton. Weekdays at 8 news.
Tuesday, this gets very real. Benefits will stop flowing to all those who need it. Republicans who say it kills snap.
The Democrats just don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Pressure is mounting on Senate Democrats to open the budget this week as food assistance for needy families is running out. But the blue team is banking on sticker shock from the insurance enrollment period that began Saturday that will force Republicans to the table. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, part of the Republican leadership team, joins us. When does she think what may soon be the longest shutdown in history come to a close? And what will the GOP say to the president's demands to eliminate the filibuster?
Maybe this idea that we have to pass of the filibuster, maybe we need to make it 55.
But Democrats think they have something else in their account, too. They're expecting big wins in key elections on Tuesday. But not every Democrat is looking to go all in. California Congressman Ami Bera is trying to find a way to make a deal Democrats need to take back the House next year, even with an expected victory in the state's gerrymandering counterstrike.
It's not about red versus blue. It's about red versus blue. Principles, fair and free elections.
And we're making a little use of our own. Your first look at brand new polling from our partners, including the significant changes for President Trump and the economy, because we're listening to you.
A couple of weeks talking to Americans.
All this and our panel of journalists. The Hill Sunday starts now. Washington, and welcome to the Hill Sunday. If you don't live in Virginia, New Jersey, California, other jurisdictions around the country, you probably have wondered what this election coverage. But I promise you there is a method to this. It's obviously important to the more than who live in those places, but it is important for the whole country. Quick report card for President Trump and his party since their big and it also sets the marker for the high-stakes midterm election. We're going to get to see how Americans are feeling about the direction of things. Lucky for us, we have a brand new poll from our partners at Decision Desk HQ that we are very pleased to get to share with you for the very first time. So let's start with the top line number for the president. The president's approval rating sits at 41%. That's down 3 points from April, but it is certainly within sort of the normal range for Donald Trump. This is where he hangs out. This number should be concerning for Republicans. It's not surprising that Democrats don't like him or that Republicans like him. But 29% is bad news with independents. Those folks are the majority. So what do we think the problem might be? When you look through the polls, there's a lot of concern about the economy from voters, but this one really caught our attention. They feel better or worse off than a year ago when Republicans had their big win. Less than a quarter of voters say they're better off now. And a lot of people are feeling worse off. That includes almost half of independents and Hispanic voters. Remember, the Republicans but their gains among non-white and typically Democratic-leaning constituencies was largely driven by economic frustrations, particularly inflation. So this should all add up to good news for Democrats. I don't know about that. Let's see. Okay, if the election were held today, Democrats would hold just a 1-point advantage over Republicans. That's down 4 points from April. So it's all going one way for that. And then on this, the Republicans actually closed the gap. If that number is predicted, it would definitely mean that Republicans would hold the House. Democrats have to win in the national popular vote for the House by 3 or more points because of the nature of House districts. Okay? All right? But we do have an election this Tuesday, which we will have fully covered for you with all the results right here on News Nation. And our friends at the Decision Desk, they're going to help us call our special coverage begins at 7 p.m. We're going to stick with you through the evening. I will be there. Okay? From West Virginia, West Side Virginia, Shelley Moore Capito, the number 4 Republican in the U.S. Senate. She's part of the team to try to make a deal. year spending bills and possible deal on Obamacare subsidies that Democrats want in exchange for reopening the government. How close from where you sit are we to ending this shutdown?
Well, I think, you know what, ironically, we've been closed for 5 weeks, and that we only need 5 Democrats to sort of come to their senses and say, yes, reopen government, and then we can begin to negotiate. But setting that aside, which is very frustrating, of the 13 times we voted on this, I think that with SNAP benefits expiring, I think the other side is looking at themselves and realizing there's 40 million families and people across the nation that are really feeling bad, along with the stuff that you see at the end of these negotiations. I'm particularly excited about the possibility of moving our appropriations bill through so that we can appropriate the cost budget. We can say what we want to do, and I think that opens up a lot of possibilities, I think, for us to assert our spending authority like we should.
Okay. Yes, and on the question of these COVID-era Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire, we're also seeing some movement there. Your Republican colleague from North Carolina, Tom Tillis, called for a 2-year extension, or said he might be able to do a 2-year extension. I understand not wanting to negotiate until the shutdown is over, but are you in principle open to some kind of time-limited extension for these subsidies?
Well, I think what we're going to see is we're now past the November 1st date. People have to sign up all the way to January the 1st. And health care is very personal, Chris, as you know, to every single family. This is important. This is the 74,000 West Virginians who have the subsidy. The enhanced subsidy is the smaller subsidy, which went into effect basically a lot of Democrats in 2022 during the COVID meant to expire. But now people are beginning to realize that's probably what happened. I am open to looking at a way to reform this system, to move it forward, and to get past this logjam. So, yes, we've had many conversations, give and take. That's what we're supposed to be doing, but we're not going to get anywhere until we have the government open. As Johnson has said numerous times, we begin to vote on these things and begin to solidify those negotiations.
All right, let's talk about the filibuster. Majority has made it pretty clear that he is for the filibuster, remains for the filibuster. But when we go back to 2013 and Harry Reid, it has been a pretty consistent bipartisan erosion of the filibuster, including some rule changes sort of at the periphery this year. Even though Democrats are relying on the filibuster now, they historically have not been banned. What do you say to Republicans who argue that the blue team is going to end the filibuster whenever they return to power? So now is the right time to blow it up so the Republicans get the benefits.
Well, quite simply, we don't have the votes to do this. So we don't need to, I think, move forward with an internal fight as to whether to do this. Personally, I think to preserve minority rights and prevent things like new states joining and hacking the courts, voter reform, abortion and gun issues that are very extreme. And that, I think, is an important quality of the filibuster. I think also that we have so much more we need to be focusing on. So I don't think that this will, I don't think we have the votes to pass it. And there are many like me who have signed a letter in 2017 saying we want to do it. I don't intend to do that.
All right, you know me, I am diving into the crosstabs on our new poll from our partners at DDHQ, trying to claw back some of the president's year of power just this past week. Now, we know that's dead on arrival at the House, but on Wednesday, the Supreme Court is going to hear arguments on the president's merit power. He may lose. If the president loses and comes to Congress for authorization, do you see yourself wanting to support him to keep the status quo or to restore the status quo on tariffs?
I think what the president is trying to do here is to advance the American worker. The part of the voter is there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. The president is nailing these down practically daily, and I think once these get nailed down, you'll see our agriculture products will get more competitive because of the reduced sales over in China. You'll see other things like supply chains loosen up and have more reform barriers, if any. And so I think by the time we get to the end of December, this is all going to be a discussion. And then that will have time for tax relief, no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no tax on Social Security. All of these things will blend in with the
Intel. Okay, late last night, the Pentagon announced additional targeted killings of suspected drug smugglers. The president has said that attacks on land-based targets, Venezuela, are next. And he says he does not need congressional authorization for any of it. Democrats say they're not even getting briefings on these operations. Listen to what the ranking Democrat on Senate said.
Yesterday, the administration convened briefings for Republican senators and only Republican senators.
Well, West Virginia, as you know, has been affected by drug trafficking and fentanyl that has just flooded into this country, and particularly in my state, has very much cost many lives and a lot of sorrow all across the state. So I support the president taking out narco-terrorists in international waters, which he's doing with the intelligence that he has and that they are gathering as we speak. I do believe that both sides of the political spectrum, Republicans and Democrats, should get the identical briefings, should know, especially on the Intelligence Committee, what is actually going on. I hope that's a remedy if in fact that's what's happened. And so I believe the president is protecting this country by taking out those who are trafficking fentanyl into this country and killing Americans.
America, if you were getting ready to fight traffic on President Park's Festival of Lights, you would know her already. There she is, Senator Shelley Moore. Okay, with us now from County, California, is Democratic Congressman federal judge says the administration must release funds for food assistance this week. But that, as we know, and other problems are stacking up like slowdowns in air travel. Now, the shutdown has been over health insurance. Democrats to the rising cost of premiums and the end of these subsidies. The open enrollment period is here, and Republicans didn't make it. You definitely made your point. Democrats need time to reopen the government.
We did a telephone town hall the other night, and voices, food shelter is very real. We're starting to see the air traffic controllers, federal workers not getting paid in the first pay. The table. I think the Senate is pretty close to my Republican colleagues from the House. I think a lot of them vote on a longer-term CR and then actually do it.
Okay, now, what you heard from Senator Cassidy, there is movement on this possible extension, maybe a year, maybe 2 years on Obamacare subsidies. That is a lot less than what a lot of House Democrats would have. How would you feel about accepting less? Are you ready to deal?
Individuals and keep healthcare costs down. To come together, the healthcare system not really working yet, a healthcare system that the American people deserve.
On the House Intelligence Committee, we heard Democrats being excluded from the briefings, and we heard now say that she thinks Democrats ought to be in. Are you getting briefings on House Intel? I assume that the president needs congressional approval to.
I am not sure. I'm not sure Republican House members I was in Washington, D.C. this last week on what the imminent threat from that's not where cocaine and fentanyl come from. On the Pacific Coast. So actually put boots on the ground, that would be an illegal action. Congressional authorization, unless it can come to Congress and tell us homeland. And thus far, he's not done that, and I don't see that threat.
Okay. Tuesday, voters in California will decide on sort of a gerrymandering counterstrike against Texas, tapping into those feelings to push these retaliatory across the country. But I have noticed that they are using some pretty hot language. Democrats denounced when Republicans were doing it because they said it undermines Republicans hold on to the House next year, will it be a rigged election?
I think all things being on our side, and we should get the House representatives back. I do think the president is aggressively Republican governors, asking them to change the district boundaries. This isn't the way our country should operate. County commissions all across this country take districts that is where we are right now. So California what happens. But hopefully one day we actually don't have this.
Okay, if the polls are right, there is going to be redistricting in California. Do you know, as things change, if
I'll make sure the majority of my Sacramento County and might be really the third district or the new third district.
Congressman, we appreciate you. You were living your best life in YOLO, California. You know him already. But if you don't, there he is. We thank you. Okay, coming up, how is the country? We're getting ready to find out on Tuesday. The Republican candidate for lieutenant governor in the big prize of Virginia when the Hill Sunday returns.
Right now, many of us are Thanksgiving celebrations. But as we gather for a festive meal, I'm wondering if food will ever come. They're starving right now with the unbearable pain that comes with that. And they need our help.
There are animals that have no idea when their next meal will come. They can't even remember when their last meal was. And they are moments from that.
So I'm here to ask you at a time when we have so much to be thankful for. Will you open your heart to help an animal who's hungry? Go online, call, or simply scan this code and donate just $19 a month. You'll help feed a hungry animal. That's just 63 cents a day to fill their empty bowl and show them the love in your heart.
There are empty bowls that are sitting waiting to be filled. You can tell that these dogs are so weak from hunger. They've known no other life but a life of suffering.
No animals are hungry. And this Thanksgiving season, you can help them. You can fill their bowl. But you have to make your urgent life. So please join in the next 10 minutes. It is free welcome gift. So thank you for helping.
There's always an empty bowl on the ground that should have food in it. And it's from the appearance of these dogs that bowl hasn't had food in it for a long time.
We urgently need 3,000 new donors in the next 30 days. Please say you'll be one of them by signing up today. No animal should ever go hungry. Do you agree? This Thanksgiving, help fill their bowl too. Go online, call, or scan this code.
This is an important message for exposure, even if you smoke. If you or a loved one are had fluid drained from your lung and were later diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, even if you smoke, call the victim's justice right now. You may be entitled to significant money damages. Many workers were exposed to dangerous asbestos fibers in the 1950s, 70s, and 80s. If you or a loved one served in the Navy or other armed forces, worked in any of the industries or trades listed on your screen, or were diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, call our asbestos exposure helpline now. The attorneys and staff working with the Justice Group have decades of experience and fully understand the complexities of filing a claim to get you the maximum payment from the insurance company, securing over $1 million for mesothelioma and lung cancer victims and their families. There are strict deadlines to file a claim. Don't delay. Call 1-800-681-2491. That's 1-800-681-2491 right now.
Hey, news where you live with Eric Phillips. Welcome back. In just 2 days, is a Republican candidate for lieutenant governor. They should know we had arranged with Virginia Tech. They're beginning to full focus on the key issues, the economic and cultural that are
undecided voters in your race than there are in the gubernatorial race. So you need to make an argument to a bunch of independents and even some Democrats considering splitting their tickets this year. Doesn't have to be a year with more ticket splitting than usual in Virginia. When you go to even some of those Democrats, what's the argument you make in your race? Well, the first thing is that I have traveled over while my Democrat opponent has stayed in her house. And a debate, she is the only person running. She refuses to do any debate. So I first part of that the producer and the don't turn this into some sort of skit or comments and try to put that to the public. Shake here too. So I hope people will look that up. I'm also the business person here who's lived and done business in a global affairs firm as a partner. Bring business to Virginia and who's going to make wise decisions, pushing the progressive agenda. I think they're going with me. Okay, but did you win? Did you beat the AI? Who won? Did the AI beat you in the debate, or did you beat the AI? Well, my mother thought that I certainly beat the AI, so I'll leave it to the public. I felt like I did a pretty heavily affected by the government shutdown. A lot of people are concerned about the economy and the cost of living. Governor Youngkin is tapping into emergency funds to cover food assistance in Virginia. President Trump, certainly before the court decision, fought to withhold the use of emergency funds to sort of the pressure on Democrats to vote to reopen the government. Which one of them has the right approach here, Governor Youngkin or President Trump? Oh, well, I don't think it's an either or. I'm tired of using a crisis, an artificial crisis. And I do think, we were taking a bet last night. That's like, what day are the Democrats going to reopen? And I think a lot of Americans are really frustrated. The political class, both at the state capitol in Richmond, led by Democrats in the House and the Senate, and the political class in Washington really doesn't care about the absence. They use these artificial deadlines as leverage while the average American is suffering. I shook hands with probably 600 people waiting in line to vote in my home county of Enrico yesterday, and that's about 2 hours south of Washington. Employees who were really frustrated, and I told them we're going to stand up for you. We've got to stop this, and it begins by putting people in office who actually want to do the people's work instead of play political games. I'm not a politician. I'm a delegate for the state senate. The people up in D.C. have withheld funding. Why? But you know what? That's great, because if I win, I don't know anybody to make the right decisions without playing those political games. Independents are going to like hearing that. Okay, America, if you had ever seen the stars in Galax, Virginia, you would know him already. There he is, John Reed, running for lieutenant governor in the old Election day is less than 48 hours away, so you know what that means. News Nation's Brian Etten is back. Get a sense of how you, America, how you all are feeling ahead of Tuesday. Brian, what do you think?
Hey, Chris, yeah, we're in the news. We made a rule, no politicians allowed. We are the only regular American people. We're almost to Cleveland, Ohio. We've been all over the country. We're in Philly, which is super interesting, not getting a lot of coverage, but there's a big DA race there. There's a former judge running against a longtime progressive DA. We were talking to soybean farmers out in Tennessee, Kentucky, who are obviously very happy with President Trump and that deal with China. And then New Jersey, we visited with women that we actually talked to during the presidential election, the big governor's race there. Even some Democrat women not happy with the Republican candidate.
Brian, you are going to be part of the party on Tuesday, where we're going to have awesome election coverage all night long with these fine folks you see right there. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will be with you until we know what is going on. Our best in the business man on the other side. Stick around.
Hey, buddy. Morning. I'm a stickler for good dental care.
Me too. looking sharp today. But even if we take care of our teeth, we can still get, no, please don't say it, a big dental. It helps pay for over 400 procedures, like braces, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. That's a lot. It's easy to find out more. Just call or go online now to get your free information kit with all the details. This dental insurance helps you pay for routine care and care. Get your free info kit and start saving today. Call or visit careinfokit.com. Physicians
as we mark 250 years of America, Wounded Warrior Project honors those who served. They've given us their physical health and thrive for a lifetime. They've given us their best. Join us in supporting 250 years of strength and resilience. Visit warriorproject.org/USA250.
Need hair growth? Faster Hair Growth Accelerator promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair in just 3 years. Accelerator is drug-free and contains a that quickly accelerates hair growth.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.